Sorry, guys. Okay, yay, I'm finally on. All right, let me get on here. There we go. All right. Sorry for the delay tonight, guys, but Facebook was giving me all sorts of technical difficulties for some reason. So I'm about 5 minutes behind. Sorry about that. So many notes. I'm actually trying this on my computer again, so let's keep our fingers crossed that my camera doesn't die like the last time and that we have an uneventful, fun, good Monday night live training, right? Hi, Lynn. All right. See, and I'm actually seeing comments, so that's a bonus from what we've had in the past. So fingers crossed, we're gonna have a good one tonight. All right. So tonight is a little less intense of a topic. I actually asked a client of mine last week during her one-on-one call, and I'm like, okay, which one would you rather hear about, this or this? And she's like, cardio versus strength training. I said, okay, because I've got it ready. I've actually, surprise, surprise, congrats to me, pat on my back, whatever. I've actually had 5 trainings ready to go since the very beginning of the year because I had to make sure I had consistent content and I had ideas ready to go. I honestly have 7 more topics set aside based on what people have said their biggest issues are with their health and fitness journeys when they've joined this group, and then just asking you ladies what kinds of things do you want to hear about. So I have a lot of content to make sure that I've got going for you all and get you educated, answer questions, so on and so forth. Eventually, probably the end of this month, I'll just do like a general Q&A, live on here, and you guys can ask any questions that you want to, or if you've got questions beforehand, you can do that, and it'll be a little bit more, less formal of a thing. So tonight, what we're going to talk about is fitness, and my title is cardio versus strength training, but there's also things in between that we are going to talk about. So I honestly have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages of notes for this one. So if you see me pick up a paper or you see me looking down, it's because I want to make sure I get my information accurate so that I'm not giving you guys just a load of bull, right? Because that's not good. So, one thing I hear a lot from clients is they are confused about what they should be doing, or they've been doing one particular type of fitness training and nothing seems to be happening. And there is good reason for that because different things are going to work differently for different people during different times of their lives, their journeys, their circumstances, whatever. So, we're going to talk tonight about cardio, which is, cardiovascular training. We are going to talk about HIIT workouts, high intensity interval training, and then strength training. We'll talk pros, we'll talk cons, we'll talk what's right for you. Well, there's not one, dismiss. There is not one particular workout that is going to be best for everybody. Every single person is going to be different. And with my primal coaching techniques and the things that we enforce with regards to primal living, it is more of, what do you enjoy doing? What activity are you going to be consistent about and not give up because it gets hard, and not give up because it's frustrating, and just not do it because it's not fun? I know what it is for me, and I have gone the gamut of all the different types of exercises and workout routines and so on and so forth. So I've got a lot of personal experience with this, but again, everybody is going to be different and it depends on what your goals are as well. So your two primary forms of exercise are going to be, cardio and strength training. And there's always strength training is better for you because of this. Cardio is better for you because of this. But understanding the difference between the two of them is what's really going to help you make the decision of what do I want to do for my fitness routine? Because ultimately it's up to you and what your skill level and your fitness level are when you begin whatever program it is that you're going to do. So, cardiovascular training, cardio focuses on keeping your heart rate elevated for an extended period of time. If you wear a Fitbit or even Polar heart rate monitors or whatever brands that there are out there now. I used to always wear a Polar heart rate monitor. The thing went around my chest and then I had my wrist, and that's what I knew what my heart rate was based on that as my heart's beating out of my chest. So it is beneficial for improving cardiovascular health, heart health, and strengthening up your heart to be able to continue on doing aerobic type of exercises where your heart rate is going to be elevated for an extended period of time. Some of the benefits are, again, cardiovascular health. It can help you in your weight loss journey, your fat loss journey. Depends, again, on where you are at. It can enhance your mood. How many people do you hear talking about a runner's high? They get a runner's high. When I was running back in the day, I don't know if I would say I had a runner's high, but it sure helped me work through a lot of stress and frustration that I was going through at that time. And then it also helps to increase your endurance. So if you're somebody who it really struggles with endurance, and that's running, swimming, bicycling, rowing, which that's my cardio of choice, is the rowing machine. I have my Concept 2 out there in my workout space in our shop, and that's what I choose to do for cardio. Elliptical machines, stair climbers, things like that, things that are steady and constant and you just keep your heart rate elevated. That's part of the cardiovascular. So jump rope, that's another one. Aerobics classes that they always used to be so big back in the 80s and 90s, and I think most of the classes now, like you've got Zumba and things like that that are a little bit more organized. But I don't know, like step aerobics, is that even a thing anymore? I don't even know. So strength training is obviously, boxing. Yes, Kimmy does boxing, so she knows that one. That's one that'll keep your freaking heart rate up for sure. Tae Bo. Do you guys remember Tae Bo? Billy Blanks, man. Ooh, I used to rock out to some Tae Bo, and I actually saw a reel about it the other day, and I was like, ooh, I loved those workouts, but man, did I lose my breath nonstop on those. So strength training, aka resistance training, is using weights or some sort of resistance for your workouts. Now, it's going to obviously help you build muscle mass, right? That's the whole point of strength training, is to build your muscles, get bigger muscles, right? It'll help increase bone density, which is super, super important in us ladies over the age of 40, heck, even over the age of 35, because we start to lose bone density in our 30s. As we talked about last week during the menopause live training, we start to lose our bone density in our 30s. So it's really important to make sure that we are keeping our bones strong, that if we are losing bone density, that we're doing the workouts and the activities we need to do to get that bone building back up again. Hi, Cindy. So bone density that's probably the key reason why I have started doing strength training, is I don't want to be weak as I age. Now, I am a bigger girl. I have, I had some more cushion on me for more years. I was heavier, which means that my bone density is probably better than somebody who weighs 135 pounds and is 5'7", just because I had the extra weight on me, putting extra pressure on my bones as well as my joints. But that helps to keep those bones strong. And Cindy says, not to mention those of us over 60. Yeah, I mean, you lose bone and muscle so rapidly as we age. And again, we hit our peak at age 30 essentially, and then from then it goes downhill. So we really have to be proactive in maintaining the bone density and the muscle mass that we have in our bodies so that we don't end up weak and frail as we get older. Higher likelihood of falls, higher likelihood of broken long bones, hips, pelvises, things like that. That's the kind of stuff that we want to avoid. Strength training boosts your metabolism. The building of muscle actually helps to burn fat faster. That's why strength training is so very popular now, is because people have learned the more muscle you have, the faster you burn fat in your body. So that's a win-win right there, right? We're growing the muscle, which isn't going to take up as much space as the fat, and it's helping us burn that fat off. Plus, mental strength training really helps you work through a lot of your stuff that you've got. You know, people say I go to the gym so that I went to the gym to get happy, and now I stay at the gym because it makes me happy. Like they go hand in hand. So and then improves functional fitness. So it improves your ability to do everyday activities a lot easier than if you weren't, doing any sort of a workout program, if you lived a sedentary lifestyle. HIIT workouts are really good for that because it mimics so many different movements that you're going to need to be able to do as you age and not have to worry about getting off balance, falling down, hurting yourself, etc. So examples of strength training workouts. They obviously dumbbells, barbells. If you don't have those things at home, or if you don't have access to a gym, it's okay. Kettlebells. You can use kettlebells, and those are not terribly expensive. Heck, I've got this one right here. Yeah, I keep kettlebells in my office. I've got this one right here that I bought, I think, for $7 or $8 at Ross Dress for Less. They've got kettlebells there, and it's plastic. Medicine balls or slam balls. This one right here is a slam ball, but medicine balls too. They're weighted. That's going to help you build muscle. Anything that's got the weight. Resistance bands. Resistance bands are really good for somebody who's just starting out or somebody who's a little bit older, because it's going to be a little bit easier for you to be able to create the resistance that you need in order to strengthen up those muscles. Cindy says you could use gallon jugs of water too. Absolutely. Soup cans. I remember back in the day as a little girl when I would do my Kathy Smith workouts that I would use soup cans from our pantry. It works. Body weight. Body weight is a very underestimated way of working out. This is the program, the strength training program, I put my very beginners on when they're coaching with me, because I want them to get comfortable doing these moves and perfecting their form utilizing their body weight. Because if they are not used to doing a workout program, if they're not used to doing squats, if they're not used to doing lunges or walking lunges or split squats, or just getting up and down out of a chair, push-ups, things like that, getting yourself off of the floor. Body weight is excellent for starting out a strength training program. Don't knock it. If you have not had any sort of real workout plan in the last 5 or 10 years, start out with body weight, because that's going to help you build up those muscles. And again, get that form right so that you are not hurting yourself when you're carrying 50, 100 pounds of extra weight trying to do these movements. I've had so many clients who have tried to jump the gun and start out with heavy weights and things, and they end up hurting themselves. And then what happens? You get really gun shy about working out again. And we don't want that. We want you to be able to be consistently doing something. So this particular client that got hurt a few weeks back, she went down to body weight exercises. So she's doing body weight now. And then as she's feeling better, she's going to move back up to the dumbbells that she was using. And then also Pilates. Now, let me tell you about Pilates. Number one, I do not have great coordination. I am not a graceful woman by any stretch of the imagination. And I don't have access to that equipment. There are some programs, Pilates programs, they're like wall Pilates and home Pilates and things like that. But the real hardcore Pilates people are the ones that have the studios. They've got those machines there. And that stuff is no freaking joke. It's like calisthenics. Like it's individual muscles that you're having to utilize. And oh my heavens, that is a workout. That takes a lot of strength to take on. So Pilates, weight training, resistance bands, and body weight, those are all strength training. I have people who are like, oh, I'm not a weightlifter because I only lift, 10-pound dumbbells. If you're lifting weight, guess what? You're a weightlifter. Congratulations, you've earned that title. Now, HIIT workouts, and this is HIIT, high intensity training, high intensity interval training, it's becoming more and more popular. Think of CrossFit and other boot camp programs and things like that. I've done those multiple times in the past. I did HIIT training with Bronson when he first became my coach. And it really is an excellent combination of both cardio and strength training. So if there's something that you don't know, if you actually want to do, if you don't know if I don't know if I'm going to like cardio or if I'm going to like strength training, try HIIT. Do HIIT workouts. They are no joke though. So when you start your HIIT training workouts, you need to be very, very gentle with yourself because you don't want to cause injury. And it's one of those things where they're definitely shorter than most other workouts, definitely shorter than cardio, because cardio, you're doing, an hour or so of cardio. Strength training, my strength training is usually 30 to 45 minutes. HIIT workouts are like 15 to 30 minutes long because they are so intense that you get exhausted in that period of time. So those are great if you are limited on time, but you want to get basically a full body workout in. Look up HIIT workouts or HIIT programs to see if there's something there that would work for you. It'll definitely help improve your cardiovascular health because you are huffing and puffing and your heart rate gets up there, because not only are you maintaining a certain, I don't want to say speed, but there's a certain effort that you have to maintain during the workouts. And you have like 30 seconds to get something done while you're doing a particular move. So you're trying to get as many reps in as you can, or you've got these reps that you have to do, and you want to be able to rest in between rounds. So you make sure that you're getting things done. Let me tell you, the bane of my existence with HIIT workouts is wall balls. Because number one, I'm not coordinated. Like Cindy said, she's not coordinated. I am not coordinated. So doing a squat, standing back up, and at the same time throwing a ball against the wall and making sure I get it high enough so that it comes back down, doesn't hit me in the face, and I go back down into a squat. Those are hard. Those are very hard, and I lose my breath so quickly doing those, but they're a fantastic full body move to do. So yeah, those are no joke. It'll increase your metabolism because again, you're combining basically cardio and strength training in the same workout. Muscle building and retention. So we're going to be increasing our lean muscle mass, and maintaining muscle as we're going along doing these workouts. Even if you don't continue to increase your weight with HIIT training workouts, you're going to be maintaining muscle because you're still utilizing strength. Kettlebells, wall balls, slam balls, barbells, dumbbells, whatever it is that you've got access to, any move can basically be modified to that. Or again, body weight when you're starting out. No equipment is necessary for HIIT workouts. You can just do body weight. That's a beauty of those too, because a lot of it is essential moves that you want to, have down as you're aging. And I know I'm going to forget something. So the essential movements are squatting, lunging, bending over, hinging, twisting, pushing, pulling, and lifting. I think I got them all. Oh my God, if I got them all, I'll be so proud of myself. But if I forgot one, I'll put it in. So those are the things that you want to have down. So again, you're helping to maintain your core. You're keeping your balance. It's an overall great workout. Not that I am saying that is, stellar over one of these other workouts, but if you're looking for something that's going to give you full body, that's going to take a shorter amount of time, but it's in the name there, intensity, man. It is an intense workout program, but do body weight because you're still going to be helping yourself even using the weight of your body to do these things. Man, wall push-ups are okay. I still do elevated push-ups. I can do like 2 push-ups, real push-ups, where my elbows aren't out like this. They're actually in like this, and my hands aren't like all the way out here. And I can go up and down twice. And I've been working out for 3 years, so go me, yay. Other sample moves of HIIT workouts, high knees, butt kickers. These are just things I call them. Leg swings, dynamic stretches, burpees, everybody's favorite, burpees and devil presses, mountain climbers, sometimes running, sometimes bicycling, sometimes rowing. It depends on which program you're doing at which time. And then you also want to make sure that you're doing stretches after, because you have just done so much that you're going to be really hurting the next day. So I like to do a lot of yoga type of poses for my stretches after the fact, child's pose, cat, oh my gosh, I'm going to have the lobster thing where you like fold yourself and, roll over and put your head, your leg by your head. And it's, all those different things, yoga. That's another one. Yoga's hardcore too. So let's talk pros and cons of cardio and strength training. HIIT, it's going to be basically the same types of pros and cons as what we've got with cardiovascular training and strength training, because you're doing both when you're doing those HIIT workouts. So pros, we kind of went over a little bit. Improved heart health. It's going to keep that heart going. It's going to, raise the heart rate. Obviously, you don't want it to go too high because you don't want to put yourself into cardio, or cardiac arrest. But it's going to help your blood pressure. It's going to get the blood flowing, and it's going to help the heart health. Weight management. Now, when I'm talking cardio, I am not talking chronic cardio. I am not talking you're going to the gym and you are staying on the elliptical for 90 minutes. And then you're going and you're running on the treadmill for 30 minutes. And then you're going and you're doing, no, we do not want chronic cardio in our lives. Because yes, that will do more harm than good. That can cause you to have glucose dumps happen within your body. That can cause you to be eating muscle as opposed to burning fat in your body. You want to be very equal with the types of workouts you're doing. And we'll get into a little bit more of that as far as the primal way of doing it towards the end of this. So yeah, weight management, if you're doing cardio properly. Enhanced mood and mental health. When I'm active, when I am playing, even, going in our swimming pool here at home, whether I'm swimming laps or I'm just, playing around either with the kids or with the dog or whatever, I am definitely in a better headspace because I'm active. The endorphins are real. The endorphins are real. Increased lung capacity, which then also helps with, endurance, because that's usually my issue is I can't breathe at a certain point when I'm trying to run or swimming laps, extended laps, and not just leisurely swimming. I am going as hard as I can while I'm in the pool, as long as I can until I have to stop, because that's basically sprinting, which is the primal way of doing things. But it's going to help you with your lung capacity. So if you've, been sick in the past, you feel like you just don't breathe as well as you used to, breathing exercises when you have pneumonia, breathing exercises after you've had surgeries, right? They all give you that spirometer to use. You do the cardiovascular exercises, and it's going to help increase your lung capacity as well. Improved sleep quality. We all need better sleep, right? We could all use a good night's sleep. When you have done a cardiovascular workout, aren't you generally kind of pooped afterwards? You're going to sleep better that night. As long as you're not working out at 8 o'clock at night and then trying to go to bed at 9:30 because you might still be a little bit wired. I am one of those people where I do not get up in the morning to go do my workouts. It's not happening. I wake up, I have my morning routine, I do my meditation, I sit out on the porch, I drink my coffee. No, I'm not going to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning. Other people have to do their workouts first thing in the morning. I prefer to go to the gym after I get off work because it does not wire me. It wears me out, and I have an amazing night's sleep that night. Other people, they go at night, they can't sleep that night, so they do it in the morning. Everybody is different. There is not a better way. If it works for you, do it. Okay? Don't allow somebody to tell you that you have to do something a specific way, a specific time, and at a fasted state or whatever. Do what works for you. Because if it works for you, you're going to keep doing it. And consistency is key, right? Yeah. And then a stronger immune system. You know, when I am working out on a regular basis, I do not get sick. Even if I'm at a gym where people have their grubby hands all over things and they're all spitting and huffing and puffing and, you know, who knows what's floating around in the air in the gym. But I do not get sick being around all of that. When I do get sick is when I am not working out. So I had my 5-month hiatus when I had my neck issue going on, and I did not go to the gym and work out. I didn't do my normal strength training programs. I just did stuff that I could do here at the house. Not nearly as intense as I had been doing because I couldn't for my neck. And I got sick twice this year or last year. I got sick in August and I got sick in December. And I rarely get sick. So there is definitely something to the cardio can help to keep your immune system up for sure. Cons of cardio training, and you're going to hear a lot of repeats on this between the cardio and the strength training. Risk of injury. So running, you can definitely hurt yourself running, right? Because what happens? You can get shin splints, you can get stress fractures. I did that. Joint pain if you're not running properly, if you have a wonky gait while you're running and you don't utilize a running coach or anybody like that. Falls. You can fall down. You can fall down on the ground while you're running, or God forbid, fall off the treadmill. We see videos of that all the time on social media, right? So injuries, absolutely. Muscle loss. This is what I said, chronic cardio. Excessive cardio without strength training can lead to muscle loss, as the body may break down muscle tissue for energy, especially if not enough calories are consumed. I wanted to make sure I read that verbatim because that is so very important. Chronic cardio is not good. We do not want to do that. We don't want to be eating away our muscle because we don't have enough energy to continue on with our workout that we're doing. Cindy says, after 2 knee replacements, I'm not running anywhere. It happens. And Lynn, yes, Lynn is my morning girl. She is the person that has to get up first thing in the morning and go to the gym. And I praise you for that, Lynn. Overuse injuries. So repetitive movements, you're going to get injuries that, again, the stress fracture. I ran so much after I had weight loss surgery because my weight loss had stalled at 2 years. And I actually started to gain a little bit of weight back post weight loss surgery. And so I started running because everybody told me, oh, if you run, it's the best thing. You get the runner's high. You'll have amazing legs. You'll have this, you'll have that. Okay, cool. So I started running. And I ran so much, I fractured a bone in my foot and dislocated it. I had to have steroid injections in my foot. The only way I would be able to run again is if I had surgery to do a fusion in my foot. I'm not doing that. Nope. No, I need to be able to walk. So guess what? I had to stop running. I had no choice. But you hear about people, Lisfranc injuries, stress fractures in their feet, fractures in their ankles, stress fractures in their shins. It happens. So overuse and not allowing your body to rest properly is definitely is a huge con as far as that. It can be time consuming. Absolutely. I used to spend an hour on the elliptical at the gym, in the cardio theater at Gold's Gym. But it was at least an hour just for my cardio. And then I would go maybe do some other stuff. But I never picked up weights because I didn't want to get bulky. I didn't want to get big. I know better now. Plateau effect. If you're doing the same things the same way, your body is going to stop responding to it positively. So you've got the same cardiovascular exercises that you're doing day after day after day after day, and you're not changing intensity and you're not doing a variety of cardio, your body's just not going to respond to it anymore. And that's definitely a big bummer, right? Potential for increased appetite. It's not necessarily a bad thing to have an increased appetite, but cardio seems to really increase people's appetites because, again, you're burning things off that you may not want to be burning off. Yeah, you're going to burn off the sugars. You might be burning off some fat, and then you could be burning off your muscles. So your hunger seems to increase when you're doing cardio as opposed to doing other types of workouts. Strength training, I never get extra hungry when I'm strength training, but that's because I'm all about the gains. Okay, so pros of strength training now that we've gone through cardio. Improved muscle mass and strength. Obviously, that's the whole point of strength training, right? Bye, Cindy. Have a great dinner. Strength training is highly effective at increasing muscle mass and increasing your strength. And it also helps with your endurance because you're building the muscle. Then the muscle can help you keep going. You're not so fatigued while you're doing certain activities. Bone health. Again, big, huge portion of it is keeping that bone strong. If regrowing bone, if you are dealing with osteopenia, being able to get that bone regeneration happening while you're aging as opposed to losing it or just maintaining it. Weight management. It's going to boost your metabolism to lift heavy things. That's why I am a big fan of lifting heavy things. Because I did so much chronic cardio in my past, it doesn't really do much for me anymore. But by golly, when I started lifting weights last year, what a difference. Between January and July, well, January and July is when I was able to actually strength train, but all the way through November, I lost 20 pounds and I had not been able to lose weight for about 19, 20 months. And that was doing HIIT workouts. That was doing rowing. My body just didn't respond to it anymore. But when I started lifting the heavy things, holy monkey, did it kick things into high gear. Enhanced mood and mental health. Again, similar thing as with doing cardio. You're out there, you've got those endorphins going. You are doing things that you don't normally do. So it's going to help improve your mood, improve your self-esteem because you might start seeing body recomp happening, and it's a win-win right there. Injury prevention. Now, you can have overuse injuries doing cardio. Strength training actually helps to prevent injuries from happening because you are building muscle around the joints, which tend to get weaker as we age or depending on what types of activities we did in our youth. My poor son, he's 27 years old and he's got the knees of a 50-year-old and the shoulders of, a 45-year-old because he played football for so many years. So he's very big in strength training and lifting because that helps with the stability so that he doesn't have as many issues with his knees, with his shoulders, and he's not getting knee replacements at the age of 30, God forbid. And then it also helps with, balance, coordination, helps with your flexibility, and reduces the likelihood that you are going to experience a fall. And if you do fall, hopefully you're not going to be getting hurt. I still have enough cushion around me, and I was blessed with an ample badonk. So if I fall on my butt, I have a less likelihood of, breaking something in that area than somebody else who may not have, a plump peach to fall down on. And then improved heart health, just like with aerobic exercise, strength training contributes to cardiovascular health because it gets the blood pressure improved. It starts to help to regulate it, and it will also help reduce bad cholesterol that you don't want to be flowing around in excess in your body, that little teeny tiny sticky LDL cholesterol that likes to float around in our vessels that, that can just kind of build up in our arteries, which is no bueno. Now we'll go to the cons of strength training, which risk of injury, just like with cardio. And I talked a little bit about it during the cons for cardio. Improper form or lifting too much weight, lifting too heavy is going to end up causing an injury in you. Fortunately, I have not hurt myself that bad by having bad form, but I definitely had to learn to improve my form, watch myself in the mirror, pay attention to what I'm doing while I'm doing it, and not rush my moves so that I don't hurt myself while I'm lifting, because that's a really good possibility. Form is crucial. It is the most important part of a strength training program, is to make sure you have proper form while you're doing it. Requires time and commitment. It does require more time than doing like a quick HIIT workout, but it's definitely less time consuming than a cardiovascular workout. When I row, I generally row for about 30 minutes. When I lift, like I said, it's 35 to 40 or 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how many moves I do that day. If I have to wait for equipment at the gym, if I'm working out here at home, I don't have any issue. I don't think I've ever gone over 35 minutes at home doing a strength training program, because I'm not having to wait on equipment. I don't have to wait on machines. And I do, a minute to a minute and a half of rest in between my sets. So I'm still able to catch my breath. I'm able to get things to calm down, but I'm still continuing on with my sets. And it's definitely shorter than a longer cardiovascular workout that I had done in the past. Access to equipment, that can be an issue for people. I started building up our home gym while I was doing my HIIT program because I wanted to have a variety of weights for, squats, weighted squats, dumbbell presses, things like that. And then also I needed to have the heavy weights for when I was doing farmer carries and things like that. Sorry guys, I'm parched. So I made sure that I got as much of a variety of dumbbells in our house that I was able to have. And then I added on a barbell, which I don't have, the really cool setup like the gym does, but I have something that works for me for when I'm not able to get to the gym. You don't need a massive home gym or anything like that. But access to equipment can be challenging and, hinder people trying to do a strength training program, because for the most part, you do end up having to go to a gym. And if you go somewhere like Planet Fitness, where they're the no lunking zone, they have limited equipment there, and you don't necessarily have access to everything you need because other people are using it, or Smith machines just don't work that great for squats. I'm going to tell you that right now. You don't want to hurt yourself. Muscle soreness. Now, I love that they've got muscle soreness as a con, because muscle soreness, I think, is my favorite part of strength training. Because if my muscles hurt the next day, that means I worked them like I was supposed to. Now, you do not want to be screaming as you're sitting on the toilet or trying to get off of the couch or unable to get down to the floor without wanting to cry. We don't want to be to that point, but you do want some soreness in your muscles so you know the work you did has done something in there. But yeah, the soreness can really, especially when you first start, because you're still trying to get used to, well, what weights should I use? And so many times we go too heavy, we do too much too fast, and that's not good because then you're literally taking an entire week off because you can't even walk properly. So it can definitely be uncomfortable. It can definitely deter you and, delay any future workouts from happening. Now, this one also says plateau effect because without changing your workout and without changing your intensity, your body gets stuck, right? So that's why, training to failure, doing dynamic workouts and things like that, where you are steadily increasing weights each workout if you are able to complete. Working out to muscle failure is, you do 3 sets. At 3 sets, it starts to get a little bit rough. Set 4, instead of doing 12 reps, you're only able to get 10 in. When you get to round 5, you're lucky if you can get 7 or 8 reps in. That's training to muscle failure. And that's what I do with the program that I am doing, because that means, okay, this is where I'm at. This is the level I need to beat. And I stay at that weight until I'm able to do the proper number of sets. And then 2 workouts with that, I bump up my weight. It may only be 1.25 pounds, but I bump up my weight because then I am still engaging and I am putting more stress on those muscles, getting the stress in those bones to help improve them. And I don't end up plateauing with my fat loss because I'm still burning the fat. I'm still building the muscle. And that's what the important thing is when you're doing a strength training program. And then again, not a complete exercise solution. Strength training is amazing. It really is fantastic, but you still need to do some other things on top of that. And finding the balance between cardio and strength training is going to be key for you. But again, you have to figure out what works for you. Now, with Primal, the Primal Living Way is not about doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over. And, again, 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes on the treadmill, on the elliptical machine, on whatever. You want to sprint. So what I do with my personal strength training / cardio, my workout regimen goes like this. Day 1 is strength training, and it's either upper body or lower body. Day 2 is a rest day. But if I feel up to it, I will go out on my rower and I do sprints on my rower, which means I am going as hard and as fast as I can for a specific period of time to basically 80% effort is what I'm doing. I'm not putting 100% into it, but right around 80% effort until I just can't anymore. And then I rest. And I let myself rest for about 5 minutes, and then I do it over again. And I do that like 3 to 5 times. That is my sprint. I know people who do uphill runs. That's their sprint. They will sprint for 100 yards uphill as hard and as fast as they can. And then they rest. They walk back down, and then they do it again. Bicycle, going either if you've got, a Peloton at home or you're doing the exercise bike at the gym, sprinting on that bike. Woo! I just moved my screen down. Sprinting on that bike. You want to go as, hard and fast 80% effort until you're just like, okay, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. So again, about 30 to 45 seconds, maybe upwards of a minute. And then you rest and then you do it over again. So that's what sprinting is. So you do your strength training, you do your heavy lifting, and then you sprint on a different day. And then you do heavy lifting and then you sprint. So usually it's 3 days of lifting and 2 days of sprinting for me. And of course, I do my rest days. I have 2 days where I do absolutely nothing. It just depends on where they fall, what days I'm able to get to the gym, what workout it is I'm doing that day, whatever. But that's the primal way, is sprinting instead of sitting on whatever cardio machine or treadmill or running or whatever it is that you're doing for an hour, because that's not going to do much. Now, do I love a good leisurely walk? Heck yes. Heck yes. And if that's all you can do at this point, please do it. You know, I did a 31-day walking challenge in my group, and I had 3 people that stuck with it for the full 31 days. And I think most of them are still walking every single day. And now we're 10 days into February, because it becomes a habit and it's something easy. I take the puppy out for walks. I don't have the puppy here for 3 weeks, so I have to walk myself now, you know? But if that's all you can do is get outside and walk, then do it. Lynn asks, how long should I be resting between sets? I've never felt out of breath when doing weights. Is that bad? No, it's not bad. You may just have better cardiovascular health than other people. Lynn, the general consensus is however long you feel you need to. My husband does 30 seconds because he thinks that's all he needs, depending on how heavy he is doing. But for the most part, we do 1 minute or 1.5 minutes between sets for our rest period. And you're not doing any cardio. Should you add some in? That is completely up to you. I added the cardio, the sprinting in the beginning of this year just to see what it would do for me to help increase my endurance. That's the biggest reason I am doing it, is because I know I need to build my endurance back up after having not been able to lift for 5 weeks or 5 months. Sorry. So that's why I am doing it. It's strictly for personal reasons. If you feel up to doing cardio, again, not a whole lot. You don't need to do much. You doing walks on your lunch break or after work is sufficient, because you're still getting out, you're still doing something, you're getting that heart rate elevated a little bit, but it's not too much. Okay. And let's see. So choosing the right balance is really key in whatever workout program you're going to do. And you want to have your specific goals in mind. What is it that you are wanting from whatever program it is that you are taking on? Is it to be able to, lose weight? Is it to gain muscle? Is it to improve your overall health? Is it a combination of things? You know, you need to have a specific reason why you're doing what you're doing. Mine was to build muscle in order to burn more fat. So mine was 2-part. But I did fine just doing the lifting, the strength training, all of last year. I didn't feel like I needed to bring anything else back in. I just want to help get myself back to where I was, and I'm impatient. Creating a specific schedule. Again, if you decide that you're going to do strength training and you're also going to do cardio, or you want to do some HIIT stuff, have a specific schedule. Do not combine them the same day. And please make sure you're doing rest days. Lynn, with regards to your question, rest days are going to be very important for you because you are wanting to focus on mobility and stretching. You want to make sure that you're getting your mobility, you're getting your balance, you're working on, loosening things up within your body. So for you, I would say stick with the mobility and rest and stretching in between your lifting days. And then, take a walk every now and then, either at lunch or after you get off work, or even before work, even though you live in the tundra. And then listen to your body. Like that is the most important thing, no matter what program it is that you're doing, no matter what type of exercises, you have to listen to your body. You have to allow your body to rest. Okay? I'm going to emphasize that again. You need to allow your body to rest. You need to be able to get good sleep. When you are resting, your muscles are healing and thus growing. You know, we get these little micro tears in our muscles when we're lifting, and those micro tears heal while we sleep. Our muscle grows while we sleep. So rest is very, very important. Do not be working out every single day without giving yourself breaks. Okay? That's very important. And again, that's what's going to lead to injuries, or it's going to lead to fatigue. And then you're just going to be burned out, and you're not going to go back to the gym, and you're not going to do what you want to do. And you're not going to hit those goals that you want to hit. So, and yeah, do what you like. Do what is fun for you, because I want to make sure that you are able to stay consistent with whatever workout program it is that you choose to do. Strength training, I have grown to love. I love strength training. I love pushing myself, seeing how heavy I can lift, how many reps I can do, if I can actually get through an entire set of whatever move it is that I'm doing. And that's a huge challenge for me, which is what really keeps me going and kind of, lights the fire a little bit more under my butt. My husband seems to be similar with that. He hates cardio. That's all he ever did in the military was running and push-ups and sit-ups, and that's what they did. They based everything on how fast you could run and how girthy your midsection was. Like that was what it was. And now they actually emphasize strength training, which he's like, heck, if it had been like this back in the day, I would have loved going to PT and wouldn't have had any issues. But all they cared about was how fast could you run, no matter what your specialty was. So does anybody have any other questions? I'm going to go through here and just make sure I didn't miss any. Gallons of jugs. And Kay said that she just got some resistance band and she's been using soup cans. She's one of my that are doing the essential movements. And when she felt ready to be able to add a little bit of resistance to it, she did, which is awesome. Cindy said she is speaking, or yes, I was speaking the truth about gracefulness and coordination. Nope, not me. I'll admit it. I am not graceful. And then Lynn had hers. Okay, any other questions tonight? If not, we can go ahead and call this video a wrap. And again, if you guys have questions after watching the replay, please comment either on YouTube or in the Facebook group, and I will address those. But yeah, the gist of this training is there is not one right way. There is not one best way for you to hit your fitness goals. There are pros and there are cons to different things, but whatever works best for you, please do that. Whatever you enjoy doing, do that. And don't forget to play. Play is also exercise. Playing with your kids, playing with your grandkids. I talk about playing in the pool. You are getting such an incredible workout in the pool while you're playing. Playing tag with the kids or the grandkids or the nieces and nephews. Do you know how much that's sprinting right there? Playing tag, that is key sprinting right there. Stuff like that. Playing kickball. I mean, don't forget to play. Play is also movement. So again, do what you enjoy. Do what is going to help you hit the goals that you've got set for yourself, and just keep doing it. Okay? Everybody have a fantastic night, and I will see you later.